Hey guys, this is Joshua. Today, well, I have not much to say. Well, I do, but I have a few things to say to my subscribers and a few things to say about what I'm building. So, of course, it says in the description, the 9/11 Memorial Minecraft or whatever. I'm thinking of the name still. I know it's kind of choppy, but just deal with it, But anyways, guys, what I decided to do was I wanted to build a kind of like my own little memorial of the Twin Towers in Minecraft, because that's basically the only way I can really think of to make something and mourn those people who were lost on that day. And so I built a pretty decent sized tower, as you can see. The only reason why I sped it up is because, well, it took about like over 40 minutes to build, so I don't think anybody would want me to talk throughout the whole thing. I do slow it down at the end, so it's not as bad. So if you guys want, you can go to the end. It's about go to like 20 minutes from this part, so you guys can see the final product if you guys want. But other than that, I'm going to just start talking, guys. So I just want to talk to you guys about my experiences, what happened on 9/11. So I was born in 1992, and I was like 9-10 years old. I was like 9 years old. So, what I remember was my mom was like telling me to hurry up and get ready for school, and I was an ignorant little child, because as a child I didn't really want to listen to my parents or what they had to say, but they'll beat my ass for it. But anyway, so my mom gets a phone call, and she's like, "Hold on, Josh," and she answers it. And my dad yells on the phone. I could practically hear, and he said, "Turn on the TV." And so my mom turns on the TV, and then I see this building on fire, and I was like, "Ooh, what's going on?" And my mom had this horror-stricken face. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was that bad, really. I mean, her face was covered in tears, and her hands were over her mouth and her face, and her fingers wanted to cover her eyes, I can tell. But of course, she still had to watch. And I saw the second plane hit the second tower, and I was like, "What happened?" I'm just a kid, and I didn't know what was going on. So, my mom, screamed in horror. She was I was like, "What's wrong, Mom?" And she just looks at me, and she says, "You're staying home." And I look at her with a smile, and I was like, "Really?" Because, to her knowledge, she believed that we were under attack. I believed that something was up, but I prefer having a day off of school than just, wondering what just happened. And because my mom was afraid there was going to be, some sort of attack on, a school or car bombings or whatever. That's what she told me when I was older. And so, I was like, okay. So, this is 2001, and Game Boy Colors was still a game to be played and stuff like that. So I pull out my game, and I start playing, just enjoying myself and having a good time as a kid. And then I hear not a scream, but it was like a shiver. And I saw the first tower fall, and my mom was just devastated. It was horrible. It was that bad, really. I mean, it's it's something that I can't relive. It's something that bad that it's just like you can't really replicate that, because we were under attack and I was completely unaware of the situation because, again, I was just a child. I didn't know what was going on. All I was worried about was trying to get all the treasure in Wario Land. Because, it's hard to explain what was going on when I was a kid, And I'm sure people who are watching this right now, like my subscribers, probably remember 9/11 or probably don't, or I don't know. It all depends on who watched it. I mean, because if you were there, who saw the towers fall or the planes crash into the building, did your parents tell you to go out of the room or something like that? It's mind-boggling of what other people experienced. Did you guys? I mean, and for those of you who are actually there in New York, I'm sure some people who are watching this are. Were you guys there? I mean, I want some. If you guys were, just leave some feedback if you guys want to. You don't have to, because that's just your own personal business. Because, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people were lost that day. Not just the Twin Towers, but the Pentagon as well. And also there was a plane that was actually destined to try and head toward the DC region and crash into our capital. But thanks to heroes I can't remember what flight it was. I think it was Flight 91. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, though. And they took over the people on the plane, rushed the cabin to stop the terrorists. So it's thanks to those people that there was not a fourth crashing. And personally, I don't feel, I mean, right now, I'm not sad, I feel mournful. I mean, those who mourn will be comforted. It doesn't matter who you mourn or what you're mourning, you will be comforted, because it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. You will always have someone there to keep you company and make you happy. And, that's all I can really say about that. But, when I saw when I saw the towers fall, I was completely unaware of what was happening. I was unaware that hundreds of people were being killed and crushed underneath that building. But the good thing about that was that the deaths were instant, and at least it wasn't too suffering. But I mean, it's hard. It's even hard for me to even talk about it because, well, I have no understanding of the pain and the suffering that was felt between those whose family members or loved ones were killed in that horrifying attack. And I can't be more mournful for you if any of your loved ones were there. And I don't want people to think about like conspiracies and all that stupid shit. I mean, this is what you should think about. Think about the husband or wife that went to the World Trade Center, and they had an argument with their spouse, and it started raining right there. It was kind of symbolic for me, I really, this is something I've planned on doing for a long time. I was planning on making it a lot bigger and stuff like that. But I think I jumped down or something like that. No, I start building more. Okay, anyways. So think about that person's wife or husband that, they got into an argument. They said some things to each other, and then one or the other or both were like, I'm going to come home tonight and I'm going to make my husband or wife feel loved and tell them that I love them, and just, you know, they weren't able to tell them that, you know. So I kind of look at it a little bit right now because I wanted to see how big it was, and it wasn't too big, so I know I had to build it a little bit taller, probably until the clouds. So I'm just punching a tree right now, just like every other Minecrafter does. And right now I was actually planning on making a little gravestone, you know, just out of typical wood, you know. And it was, you know, even doing this was actually hard, making a tombstone. It wasn't painful. It was just, you know, knowing that, you know, I'm just kind of almost casually putting this gravestone down, knowing that people suffered, and it's something that can't be replaced, really. But this is something that I dearly wanted to do from my heart. You know, that's what I put in loving memory. And I had a number written down, so it kind of took a while, but 2,576 lives were lost on 9/11, 2001. So I put it right there just to show that that's what it's for. And right here, the tree grew, and it grew right in front of my tombstone, and I was like, what the hell? It was kind of annoying there, so I had to get rid of it. You know, some of this, like, you know, a lot of this stuff's kind of symbolic, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just personally me saying things, but that's just really all I can say about this tree. It was just got in the way, but I found a rose, and I was like, you know, why not put a bunch of flowers around it, just to lighten the mood a little bit around here, you know? I mean, I just wanted to put it right in front of the gravestone, just to show that, you know, I cared about those people who, you know, whose lives were lost, and those who were heroes. There were heroes, not only just the people who were killed in action, but there were also heroes, the rescuers who came in and rescued people from the towers, and, you know, the firemen and the policemen, and, you know, those people are heroes. They come out of that's their job. Their job is to risk their lives. And, you know, people need to understand that, because if you risk your life for a job, you know, I heavily honor you, because that's what you do, is you want to protect the society from evil. And that's the type of attitude I like to see from, like, policemen and firefighters and even doctors. And the doctors were also saviors too in this time of horror, because they rescued many people, you know, I'm like from cuts or bleeding or wounds, or from the top of the tower, you know, people, you know, and just imaging what people saw, the plane coming crashing through their cubicles or their their work areas or whatever, and just imagine the horror it was to get out of there. I mean, just imagine the survival that people had to do to get out of there alive, because those people, you know, those people that were above the tower, it was just awful. I mean, it was very unfortunate that people could not be rescued because of the heat that was around it, and the fuel that was being ignited by the plane that crashed into the building. And what made things worse, and of course, was the towers falling, and a lot of people were just in horror that the towers, it collapsed. And I mean, but thank God, and I mean it, thank God, the towers did not topple. Imagine the casualty rate of that. If the tower didn't just collapse, it tipped over like a domino. That would just pour a lot of salt in the wound, you know, just the thought runs shivers down my spine. I can't even imagine how horrifying that would be. But, and I know people say that George Bush is a moron. he has made idiotic decisions, but through the declaration of war that was bestowed upon us, he handled it professionally, and I couldn't be happy that he was in charge of making sure that everything was under control. And I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from this. I don't care. I still think that what he did was what he did through this time of terror was done, and I believe he did everything that was needed correctly. So I kind of reached the pinnacle of where I want to stop building, because the clouds got in the way. So I was like, well, it's going to be a pain in the ass to build anyway without having any visuals or being able to see. So I finished the first tower. And guys, for whoever's watching this, if there is someone from New York, my subscribers, or just a lone viewer of this video, if you guys have any, if you guys think do you think I should build anything in it? Do you want me to put anything inside of it? Maybe make it a home, or just have like floors of people's whose lives were lost, just like on every floor, just have a flower or something like that. I mean, I want whoever's watching this to tell me what they would like, and I would love to take their word into consideration, because this is something I did from this is something I wanted to mourn, because it was just, just watching documentaries on it just is enough to cause anyone to shudder in fear. But there's nothing much that I can say right now, but I basically exhausted all my words that I've said, though, but I'm sure I'll think of something. But right now I just want to take a time, and I want you guys just to take a time of silence, and we're going to take 1 minute of just quiet, and just think about the families who were disturbed because of this accident. Or no, I can't believe I even said that. Not accident, no. This horrible terror, this terror attack, this horrible incident that was bestowed upon us. So just think about the heroes and the victims that were lost, and the heroics that were gained that day. So just take time and just think about that. Alright, so just hope that was kind of a touching moment for you, really, because I want people to understand that this was no accident. This was an intentional act of terror, and trust me, I can't stand knowing that people attacked not just America, but my country, because as an American, I will not stand up to any act of terror. And right here, for some reason, the tree devoured my sign, so I had to write it again. But I mean, just this is America, and as a full-blooded American, I can't help it. I can't not watch people suffer. I mean, I don't want to see people suffer. And I found a Pegasus flying around, and I tamed it, so I named it Twin Towers. And so, gonna go fly around and go see the final product of the Twin Towers here. But it's kind of funny, you know, making a Twin Towers and flying onto Pegasus. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes plenty of sense. But I mean, I just wanted you guys to just get a good sky view of it. But this is not from just me. This isn't from just Joshua. This isn't from a person who wants to gain attention. This is a voice from an American. I'm an American, and I believe that justice has been served, justice will be served, and justice will prevail. Because I am an upright person. I believe that evil triumphs, but it will never succeed. Evil is just a burden that must be everywhere. But the thing is that evil comes in small numbers, but evil causes great pain. Now it's kind of like, have you guys ever had like a day of school and some guy was being a dickhead, but for the rest of the day, you know, or, you know, some people were being nice to you, you know, sometimes you remember those hurtful feelings, you know. That's how evil is, you know. We remember the bad things. But I don't want you guys to remember the bad things and be, you know, be very, very sad, but just mourn those who were lost. That's all. That's all I can really say. Because if you guys just focus on, like, the conspiracies, stupid crap like that, you're just ignoring the fact that people were killed when, you know, when you saw those Twin Towers fall. A lot of people were unaware of the suffering that people were going through those towers, and that people were murdered at their job. You know, this is one of the biggest terrorist attacks, or if I'm not mistaken, biggest terrorist attack that was bestowed on America. And you know, there's nothing much I can say, but I just put a bunch of flowers just floating around and stuff, you know, just to show, you know, just decorations, just to show that I care about those who were lost, and I'm sorry that your husband or wife or friend or cousin or brother or sister or aunt or uncle that was lost. And I'm sorry, and I will pray for you. But, well, it's the end of the episode, but I just kind of wanted to end it with style a little bit. Probably cover the top with some glass, but I just wanted a kind of little nice ending. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you all sometime in the future.